Oh well. The trip was long and somewhat slow. I find the waiting involved in travelling interminable. Monsieur Fogg was quite indifferent to it all. He peered through the window and nodded. "Onwards and upwards," he declared. The airship crossed Italy, and we were approached by one of the cabin staff, a middle-aged lady whose serving tray was jointed to her left hip. "Coffee?" she asked, "or would you prefer a pressé?" I shook my head at both. "Is there no wine?" I asked for a coffee. And to my horror, she unscrewed the top of her left thumb and poured thick, hot coffee into a mug directly. I was open-mouthed. She smiled at me. "Milk?" "Yes." "Black, thank you." No, we asked for it, but it would be rude to refuse it at this point. Black, thank you." I answered quickly, dreading to think where the milk might be served from. She handed over the cup, and I sipped it. It was, I confess, rather good. Relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly. "You called an airship Icarus? I've just noticed that." That just killed him. No, I clicked Fogg. So if you click that, you kind of look after him. He boosts his condition a little bit. I did click that game. The Aegean below sparkled like a diamond-covered cloth. Even from this great height, we could see the ferry boats plying their trade back and forth across the water. Will airships remove the need for sea travel? I mused to the man next to me, a short Greek fellow with thick spectacles who tutted with concern. "I hope not," he answered. "Since boats are my livelihood." Putting out his hand, he introduced himself as Dimitri Sophos, owner of a shipping freight company that ran goods between Greece and North Africa. Ooh. I inquired into departures, and he was happy to provide me with a pamphlet outlining the routes and timings. The one of most interest was a sailing to Cairo, which was leaving tomorrow. I took it to my master directly, and he nodded with deep satisfaction. "Yes, that would certainly be a possibility," he declared, then reclined back, happy to sleep until we docked. Ah, that's great. Getting the Cairo route. Because... So yeah, when you discover new routes, they're not always necessarily connected. There might just be a load of random connections. But that is really useful, because we have an item for... Ooh! And and he gave us a new thing. So that's really good, because he also gave us a free one of these. So, when is that going? So that departs tomorrow. We can't do anything about that. So we may as well actually do a little bit of exploration. It might give us a bit of plot and well, actually, let's see if there's anything to. Saritsan. The thing is, getting these, although they're a little bit expensive, well, that's free, so I may as well grab that. Is you can actually use them. Oh, that's Izmir. What was in Cairo? No, that was Cairo. Didn't it say Cairo? That's annoying. You can use these to keep talking to people about things, so I will actually hold on to them. We'll do a bit of exploration, we might find something else. So we could actually just get a route across to Izmir. My master was not, as a rule, particularly interested in the fabulous locales and exotic cities we journeyed through. Athens was the exception that proved the rule. His sudden interest was not limited to the city. He fixed me with a look. "Do you speak Greek?" I had spent a glorious summer with a Greek contortionist, who were in the circus, apparently, who could do the most elegant arabesque penché. Mais oui, monsieur. Oh, mais oui, monsieur, I smiled sharply, repeating a few of the phrases taught me by my paramour. Monsieur Fogg blushed vermilion. "That, passepartout," he cleared his throat, "is a very specialized vocabulary. Despite my master's grasp of ancient Greek, the Demotic variant, more commonly spoken on the streets, eluded him. We were reduced to asking for directions through a combination of mime, moi, apposite quotations from Homer, my master, and half-remembered flattery, moi encore. We picked our way through the labyrinthine streets of the Plaka and up to the Acropolis. I gazed at the Parthenon's columns. It was a magnificent sight. Even in ruins, I could only imagine how it must have looked 2,000 years ago, the jewel in the crown of the Athenian Empire. It is exquisite, I breathed, interrupting Monsieur Fogg's silent reverie without quite meaning to. Alas, our quiet, companionable moment did not return. I'm zestful, but our relations with Fogg have deteriorated, alas. So if we depart, we could head to Izmir. That's going to... Well, no, we're not. I still think going to Alexandria is probably the best thing. Oh, Izmir! Oh, no! That's where this is valuable, isn't it? Ooh, but we could sell that. That's quite a bit of money. We're all right, I think. Izmir, Alexandria. That's no. I the other way around. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I think we'll just head there. Well, there's a little. I don't know what this blue thing means. I'm really confused. So I think we'll head to Alexandria next. So we must rest for the day, which does boost his condition. I think this Mr. Fogg's condition. There we go. It's going up a little bit. As night fell, I went out to explore a little, see if we can find out a little bit more. But found nothing of any particular interest. All right. So we're going to head to Alexandria. Oh, so we know some information about it. No, Alexandria. Oh, I can't go to Alexandria through this way. I'm confused. Okay, we'll just head to Cairo then. It might be that we can stop off in Alexandria. Yes, let's go. Okay, we've only got like 40 minutes on this, but that's the thing, is if you're thinking about things, there's a real-time element to it, so you might miss some. I think we have missed a few before. We found our way to Sophos' ferry terminal in good time, and waved a greeting to the owner, who was visiting to inspect his fleet. "Passepartout!" he cried cheerfully. "You'll join with me and drink some Brezina?" Monsieur Fogg lifted an eyebrow but said nothing. "I would," I replied, "but I cannot. We must continue our journey." "Of course, I will not delay you." We clambered aboard Sophos' ferry, finding some space between barrels of olives and large packing crates that smelled of fish. Soon the rope slipped from its ring and we were away. Relations with Fogg have improved. Hooray! We will converse. "Greetings, Madame Nicolai. Passepartout, welcome aboard." Ask about Cairo. "Oh, really, monsieur? Cairo to Alexandria." "I don't know, but listen, they say Suez is the end of Europe, but in truth it is Alexandria. So we want to think about Suez." "Absolutely. One could travel by private car from Cairo to Suez, but the journey is a tiring one. So we can give her these things. We'll give her some perfumed oils, and then that allows us to talk about something else. So Suez. Say that you can travel aboard the P&O liner Mongolia from Suez to Aden. What about to Lahore? I don't know, but the fastest way to Lahore from here is via Manama. What about Jeddah? I don't know, but listen, I hear the Al-Rashids plot to capture Jeddah from the Ottomans. Okay, give her the date and figs. Now, this isn't you're not using them up here. You get a little bit more. So Cairo. Anything else from Cairo? Ha'il can be reached from Cairo by Ottoman airship, but the fare is very high. What about to Riyadh? The last bank in Riyadh is closed. That's not good. Cairo to Luxor then. My friend used to talk about the Nile Express from Cairo to Luxor. Goodbye. So this gives us a bit more information. We now know an awful lot about what's going on. So actually, it might be worth going. Oh, that's exactly what we're going to do. Head to. Yeah, so we're going to head to Suez next. We were away. Next stop, Cairo and the coast of Africa. Oh, I wanted to get out at Alexandria and sell this stuff. A few hours later, the sun was lowering. The journey was mercifully brief. Perhaps because the crews were so feckless. Only at that last moment did they start to move, swarming the rigging and the mast and bringing us slowly into the bustling port of Alexandria. As we came ashore, I gasped at the sight of the towering lighthouse that blazed a beacon of incredible golden light across the water. I had understood the lighthouse to be long since destroyed, which I think would be the Pharos lighthouse. But I shrugged. No doubt I had misunderstood. The sailors gestured for us to follow. From the port, it was a short carriage ride to Cairo, but we decided to stop here. Stop here for the night rather than heading on to Cairo. The lighthouse was too intriguing. Yes, so that allows us to sell that. What are the open roads set? Valuable in Cairo, we're not going there. Valuable in Suez. We're not going, unless we have to, I don't think we're going to get rid of this. We're not going to head to Cairo, so we'll ignore that. That mirror seems to be occupying your attention somewhat, Passepartout. We shall rest at the hotel. And we will, if necessary, look after... I remember the speculation in the Parisian papers when the site of the ancient Library of Alexandria was purchased by an anonymous bidder a few years ago. I was more surprised to see its current state. Everyone had been surprised when the purchaser was revealed, and the great copper lily sigil was unveiled on its rebuilt walls. The Artificers' Guild. Ooh. I went inside. The long halls were cooled by some hidden, gently humming mechanism. The students moved about with calm fastidiousness, and naturellement, everything was in. Everything was in superb working order. Corridors were lit with electricity and doors slid open as they were approached. As I wandered the campus, I passed a room from which a curious green light flickered. I peered through the keyhole and observed a strange sight. A young woman laboured over a projector of some kind, which threw light out onto the wall via a tiny aperture. But from where I peered, I could not see what was projected. No phantasms then? No, I entered, the better to see. We're a little curious, I think. The image projected was a row of scrolls on shelves, nothing more. The woman looked up and pushed a pair of spectacles onto her head. "Who are you?" she demanded. "What gives you the right to barge in like this?" I introduced myself. Passepartout, the most dashing valet in all of Europe. She looked distinctly unimpressed. "Well, Passepartout, barging into experiments is not good for your health, or for the nerves of the people you meet." But pray, what are you doing?" I asked, hoping to make some peace between us. "It is none of your concern," she replied, but a note of pride warmed her voice as she spoke. "But I have been looking into the properties of light passed through a quartz film, and the effect is most extraordinary." She indicated the image of shelving projected on the far wall. I feared an unwanted lecture. It did look astonishingly tangible, and I remarked as much. "It is not a projection," she insisted. "You understand the principle of reflection, do you not? That all objects reflect all light. Some light is absorbed, but never all. Otherwise, the world would turn invisible." "Yes." I rather took to admiring the turn of her nose. "What of it?" Her manner became animated. "Why, then everywhere contains not just new light, but old light as well." "Ooh! So you're... Ooh, I quite like this idea. Trapped like flies in a jar. One only has to filter it through something, say, filmy quartz." She tapped one side of her projector. "Amplify what remains, and you are left with this." She pointed at the folder. "Are you saying that image is old? A ferrotype?" She shook her head sharply. "That projection is an image from this room, from almost 2,000 years ago. That is one shelf of the great library of Alexandria. Passepartout, if you go close, you can even read some of the text." I moved forward to check, when something remarkable happened. A man in a robe walked in front of the row of shelves, took one down, and began to read. The woman gasped, and I staggered back against the wall. The man in the film did not notice us, of course, but selected a papyrus scroll, unrolled it, and left the frame of the image. Can he hear us?" I turned the projector around hastily, trying to follow the man, eventually catching him up with him near the doorway. He turned, and for a moment we saw his face, his open mouth. He raised a hand as if to signal us, and I waved back. But of course he was not truly there. He spoke to someone we could not see, but we heard no words. Then he walked away through the wall and was gone. The creator of this spectral spectacle was gasping. "My friend, we have witnessed something incredible. A camera into the past." She nodded. "Well put." She sat down suddenly. "I am overwhelmed." The mode of scientific thought, it seems, can produce results beyond the comprehension of the thinkers themselves. I left the woman and her ghostly reading companion and returned to my flesh and bone, Monsieur Fogg. But I could not shake a chill. In the future, would people be able to see me walking these streets, boarding trains and boats with suitcases? Would our escapades become flashing images, so detailed and yet so untouchable? And if progress could create such a thing, what next? I fancied I felt the fingers of future artificers guiding my very steps as I walked. Interesting. Let's explore. See if we can find some routes. A route to Suez. Good. I spent a few hours in exploration, learning ways in which we might travel onwards. There's nothing new in the market. I don't think so. 100. Yes, we should get that. Ouch. Wearisome options. That's 12 to get there. Or if we go this way, it's only 9. But I need to know how much that is, and I don't know. Let's just take this route, because it will be faster, certainly. Although, it will be a little wearisome for Fogg. We took a small boat from Alexandria to the top of the Suez Canal, which had only been recently opened. We passed other ships very closely. The captain, a curly-haired, genial Egyptian, noticed my unease and grinned. "Do not worry, my friend. I have not sunk a boat in, at least a year." "Do not say the word sunk," I pleaded, feeling rather put upon. "It is not kind to mock me." "Well," he replied equably, "you paid for passage, not for kindness." "Kindness is always a gift," I informed him, trying to infuse my tone with genteel disdain. "Sadly, not all men are so gifted." Don't worry, my friend. We are nearly at Suez. We will actually... We don't need to converse out of Suez. We know where we're going. We're just going to head to Bombay. Our captain was, for all his frivolousness, a deft navigator, and we sailed into the canal at exactly the expected hour. Monsieur Fogg was, in his own rather cool way, in raptures at our timely arrival. I'm on fine form, but we must make haste. So we can't go straight away. When does this depart? Tomorrow. Good. We have the money. We've got a bit of time. Let's see where I was at this point. I'm in Moscow. I was in Moscow this time in the previous game. So we're going to head to India, then head across. Possibly to Voltaire, maybe. And then... I don't know where we go from there. We'll see what options are available to us. But we're following the story a lot closer than I was in my last playthrough. Right, okay. So, we can't do anything. Oh, actually, what time is it tomorrow? Tomorrow at 11. So we'll have a bit of time. We can go into the market, which is good, because we want to sell. We want to sell our was it zoetrope? The uniformed lamplighters lit the gas lamps as the sun set over Suez, bathing the wide avenues of the city in a smoky yellow glow. I enjoyed this city, without thinking too hard about its curious existence, blooming like a little flower with the desert all around. So we're going to wait until the market opens. If we click this, I don't know exactly how fast it will go. We don't need to explore. We know where we're going. We're going to India. If we can find something that will be good for the sea, that'd be useful. Right, we can sell the hand mirror. Indian shipping. We'll grab that, I think. Windscarf, part of the dusty road, open road. Heavy storms might be useful. Agra, Ha'il, and Jeddah, so we're not going that way. We could still buy these, just in case. Right, there we go. Now we're going to find out a lot more routes. And it might actually not give us anything particularly useful, thinking about it, for us, if we're going to head to Bombay. Is there any out of Bombay or around that go westwards? Madras to Waltier, and then on. Oh, that is useful. So Chittagong takes us to Singapore and can take us on. Oh, that is useful. That is actually very useful. Right, we're going to depart to Bombay. Oh, that's not good. Oh, brilliant. We got the safety harness, so that's very useful. So that's going to drop it down by a little bit, I think. We haven't got any of these. Right, let's just go. So this is probably going to be a long story. So all of these long journeys have a bit of a story to them. So we've seen what happens. The dock was crowded with people cheering one and another along. There was much chatter and many embraces, as I suppose long-distance journeys must always attract. But none of the attention was for us, of course. Or now, perhaps not. I fancied I sensed a pair of eyes fixed on us as we made our way aboard the Mongolia. Perhaps the sight of a true English gentleman is a wonderful rarity in these parts. Who can say?